everybody. To everybody. I'm, all right. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in Visalia, California. I'm so happy you can be with us here today. This starts our meditation time. And we will be having meditation from 10 to 10:15. And I invite you to just look at the slide and read the words that are on the slide as you take them into your meditation. So join us now as we move into the silence with Kevin, our piano playing genius, doing some music for us to accompany your time. Well, thank you, Kevin, and welcome back from your meditation. I just invite you to return now to this time and space. And now it's time right here in our center for our meet and greet. So for all of you who are out there in cyberspace, if you want to get your coffee or your tea and donuts or cinnamon rolls or bagels with cream cheese, whatever you got hanging around out there that you're interested in, and just relax for 15 minutes while we get ready to have our service as everyone comes into our sanctuary here. We'll be back at 10:30.
It's so hard to explain to maybe like that, but it's exactly what you would want.
Wow. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Oh, come on, you can do better than that. We got people out in cyberspace. Good morning. Good morning. All right, that's better. Now, yeah, I know y'all can hear us out there. I've been out there. I know what it's like. And I want to welcome everybody here. Is there anyone here for the first time? If you're here for the first time, great. We have 2 new folks. So, hey, welcome home. We've been waiting for you. So, Maria's going to give you a new person packet so you get some information about us. And I have special things today. This is going to be a little different than something we ordinarily do. And I'd like to start our service today by a land acknowledgement. I'd like to acknowledge and honor the Yokuts, the first people, for their original and continued stewardship of this land upon which this church stands. So I give great thanks for them. Then I have another special thing. Donna Williams, our lead vocalist and everything, singer. Come on up, Donna. Yes, you have to do this before you sing. So Donna's been doing this gig here for 6-7 years, I don't know, probably even longer than that, before the beginning of time maybe.
Yeah.
And she's now decided
So old, okay.
she's now decided she's going into early retirement for a while. And so we've been so blessed to have her here. And I am so grateful for your work in getting me in here and getting everything done so that we can carry on. And we just have a couple of little items for you as you get ready to go on to your next greatest yet to be. So thank you. Thank you. Yeah, let's give her a hand, everybody. She has put in some time. Yep. Long time service. Thank you, darling. We appreciate you so much. She'll probably be back for some special thing once in a while. I don't know. We'll see. Depends on whether she wants to get out of retirement for a day or so. All right, so right now. Oh, my gosh. Thank you. That was our board president, Sheila, reminding me that because Donna's leaving, we have cake today again. Yay. So we do have cake. It'll be after service, so I invite everybody here. I'm sorry for you folks out in cyberspace that you can't have cake with us, but you can maybe have a cupcake or something at home. So we'll have it here. All right, and so now I'd like to invite Janice Lehman up. She has a little special announcement, and then Donna Orozco will continue with the announcement.
She does indeed. There. As some of you know, in the past, we've had a Halloween party, and we are going to do that again this year. It will be on the 29th of October, which is a Friday night, so that won't interfere with any trick-or-treaters or whatever is going on. It's $20 a person. We'll have, that's our ghoul. He will greet you at the door, and he says, "Good evening. Lovely evening for a fright, isn't it?" Among other things. I think he has 3 things he can say. So he's very talented, and he shakes, and he turns blue. It's quite exciting. Scares the heck out of the little kids, but what can I say? But anyway, it will be Friday, October the 29th from 7 to 9, and it's going to be in our backyard outside. We'll have prizes for best costumes, trivia game, tickets are on sale. John's selling tickets today. And for your eating pleasure, we will have witch fingers, vampire blood, and goblin goodies. And next week, I will wear my La Bruja hat, which since I was going to be practitioner today, I thought maybe not so cool. But anyway, whoever would love to be there, and here's a trivia question, so you can see what we have in mind. Who was the first lady to decorate the White House for Halloween? Do not get out your phones. You are right. Mamie Eisenhower.
Yay.
Florence has already won a prize. She already has a prize. So anyway, I am so looking forward to having you there. It's a lot of fun. If the cost is too much for you, we'll that's fine. We want to make money. It's a fundraiser, but we also want this to be a community event and something celebratory. So thank you.
Thanks, Janice.
So that's going to be great fun. Our event committee has been planning events. We're not going to have the, what do we call it, the gala this year, the old Autumn's opulence. We've decided people are tired of that, and no one wants to buy any more auction items. So we're going to do some fun, different things instead. And next. So our Peace Crane item, our event, is also a fundraiser. We've raised $547 or
No,
something.
we're at 589 now, and
Okay.
climbing. We haven't gotten it all quite counted yet. There's so much of it up there.
So we're at least 589 just by $1 per crane. And we need to get to 1,000, and we're over 800 now. Today, after service, we're going to have the one last crane making time. And Sharon, who has become our next expert person, is going to show us how to make cranes. She actually got me to make them pretty well on the first Friday. I made 4, but I had to have her helping me all the last part of the way. So we will do that right after service. Anybody who wants to stay and learn how to make those cranes, we invite you to do that. Maybe we'll get to 1,000 today. Who knows? Our Members and Friends art show is coming up. So I've had a few people who say they're going to be put art in, but we need like at least 30 pieces. And each person can put in 30 pieces. They don't have to be art. They can be poetry or other things. You have 3? You said 30. Oh, I did? No, I meant 30 total, 3 per person. All right, let's get that straight. So I'm hoping, talk to me after service if you have something you can put in. It can be any kind of art. This is the time when don't be afraid to show off what your talent is, and we want to put it on our walls, and it'll be great. So I need everything by November 1st or the Sunday, which is Halloween, the day before that, so we can hang it on the 1st. Great. And we're having a fall bookstore clearance. So we're trying to get everything, sort of some of the old stuff sold, and then we're going to be bringing in new things. So we want you to bring any of your gently used spiritual books that you're done with, bring them in by next Sunday. And I think Bev is going to be figuring this out, putting the book sale on. The book sale is from November 5th to the 20th. Bev and Chris, our 2 bookstore people. Great. And then we'll have a sale. We're going to be getting some new things in. We're going to be having the Science of Mind journal, which follows our themes for each week. And we're going to be getting the Science of Mind magazine back in, too. So you can be buying that, too. And Bev is also looking for some artists who make cards, because we have sold cards in the bookstore before, and we want to keep doing that. So go through your used books and bring them in next Sunday, and we'll be having a great book sale. Calling all practitioners to be. This is the second thing that's going to happen after service today. Anybody who is interested in learning what it takes to become a practitioner, or even if you're just interested, you don't have to sign up, but Reverend Dan is going to, after service, will tell you a little bit about what it takes to become one, and see if you have that call to become a practitioner. And save the date. So this is another fundraiser. So I don't know if you remember, but 3 years ago, we revived the Marjorie Brandon Award. It was put out. It was given out by a different group that no longer is in existence. And so we thought, well, she's our person. We have her picture right over there on the wall. And so we thought we should give the award out. So this year we're giving it to Rosalinda Verdi Alexander. You probably know her. She's sung here before. She sings opera. She sings hard rock. So she's going to get the award, and then she and her band are going to perform. So it'll be here on November 13th. We're going to start selling tickets next week. We want to fill the space. You know how we set it up like a little cabaret with our little tables. We'll have a food truck out back if you want to buy dinner beforehand. It's going to be a great evening. So save it. November 13th, that'll be our first concert. We've got 3 planned, and that's the first one we're planning. And Explorers is coming up next week. Now, Explorers is a fun, I don't know, I just love this group. We talk about so many different things that we never learned growing up in church or Sunday school or whatever. But several of us listened to a webinar, and it talks about what books were left out of the Bible that really sound like science of mind. And these didn't make it into the Bible because they're not the straight line. But they're fascinating, interesting things, and we hope you'll come. It's at 12:30 here after service next week, and we invite anybody who wants to come.
It's also on Zoom.
It's also on Zoom, so you can come in on Zoom. So now I'm going to turn it over to Bonnie.
Your face mask here.
Okay, you can hear me. Wonderful.
Hold it up closer, though. Go
How's
ahead.
this?
There you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, I'm here to do the diversity quote and read the diversity inclusivity group purpose. To welcome all with love by listening with open hearts and minds and through honest, non-judgmental discussion. To share, to learn, share, and foster a consciousness of inclusivity. To best serve our center, community, and the world. And I chose the person I chose this month because we're coming to the end of Hispanic Heritage Month or Latino Heritage Month, which goes from September 15th to October 15th. And also because the Supreme Court, the United States Supreme Court is starting, or has started now its new session. And so the person I've chosen for the quote this month is Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. And the quote reads, "The way to stop discrimination on the basis of race is to speak openly and candidly on the subject of race, and to apply the Constitution with eyes open to the unfortunate effects of centuries of racial discrimination." Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie.
And it is my pleasure to read our "What We Believe" quote, which I believe we have.
Actually, from the organizational shared
Yes,
values.
it's from our organization. It's our global vision. And I absolutely love this quote. "We consistently welcome more and more of the divine nature to be realized within us and revealed through our relationships, our decisions, and our contributions to the world." And I want to read that again. "We consistently welcome more and more of the divine nature to be realized within us and revealed through our relationships, our decisions, and our contributions to the world." And with that, I am going to say an affirmative prayer, and I want you to keep that vision in mind as I give that prayer, because I think it is so important to our time right now and to where we are. And for those of you who don't know what an affirmative prayer is, it's not a prayer that beseeches that we know that God wants what we want, as long as it is good for everyone. So that's the way we pray. We don't say, "Oh, please, please, just this one time, I'll never do it again." That is not an affirmative prayer. Okay. As I think about all that Spirit is, all that God is, that power, that creativity, the love, all of those things, I know that I too am part of what Spirit is. And as I embody those qualities of unity, of power, of creativity, that I am becoming more and more of what Spirit is, and that I am moving in a way that includes more and more people. And I know that what is true for me is true for every person on the planet. And I know that as I think of my family that I hold dear in my heart, I think of a few people that are my family, and then maybe I expand out and I think of my friends, and then I expand out a little bit and think more of acquaintances. And I realize that when I expand that love to all of humanity, it is so, so powerful and truly is bringing about a world that works for all. And I know that our service today will be that will help each of us to embody those God qualities, those qualities that bring joy and happiness, peace and fulfillment to all. I release my word to the creative law of mind, knowing that it is already so, it has already happened. And we say together, and so it is. Thank you. The band is here, and we have a special treat. Donna's going to be leading us in a song.
So this song is by Eddie Watkins Jr. called We Come Together. And my cohorts in crime are going to help me. And because we switch things up, you won't find any words on the slides. What I would really like for you all to do is to echo. You'll see what I mean. You're going to echo with this lady over here and this lady over here. And you're going to sing out loud, right? Right. Okay, we come together. Take a look at the person next to you. Say God loves you and I love you too. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. Come together. We come together. Come together. We come together. Come together. In the name of love, we come together. Come together. We come together. Come together. We come together. Come together. In the name of love. Now look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. Come together. We come together. Come together. We come together. Come together. In the name of love, we come together. Come together. We come together. Come together. We come together. Come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, Namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together.
Together.
In the name of love, we come together.
Come together.
We come together.
We come together.
We come together.
We come together.
In the name of love, we come together.
Well, oh my goodness, they raised the roof about 1.5 inches on the building today. It was awesome. I hope you all enjoyed it out there too, you know. Well, good morning again, and happy Sunday to everyone. I am Reverend Nan Bankston. I'm the senior minister here. I'm privileged to have that role here and to be in this community. And I just want to welcome everyone again, wherever you may be. As Donna mentioned, our cranes continue to multiply. I actually think we are now very close to 1,000. Yes, Sharon? But we're going to keep on going. They're going to be flying in all weekend. So just so you know, we do have the Science of Mind magazine available now. I know that Donna said it would be. But there's a special article in here. It's available in our bookstore for sale again. And there's a special article in here about the cranes. And you can pick up your copy out there, or if you don't get it at home, you can arrange to have it mailed to you personally, so you never are without it. It's a really wonderful spiritual practice tool because it has daily guides in it that have little special messages, and there's inspirational articles and uplifting information in there. Now, the other thing in the very near future is that we are ordering the 2022 Center for Spiritual Living journals. And a sample of that is on the back table so people can see them. You can sign up for the order because if we have more than 10, we'll be ordering in volume and we get a discount. If we do that, they are not going to be $14.95. They'll only be $12 full price. So you're going to get a break instead of buying it on the internet through CSL. They make really great personal journals, and they make excellent gifts for people. So they have monthly and weekly themes. You know, we follow the global themes for the Center for Spiritual Living, and we have a monthly theme and a weekly theme that I do with my talks. And so there's places in there for you to be able to write your thoughts throughout the week for whatever may come up for you. And it's a great investment if you are a person who really enjoys journaling. And that concludes my advertising segment for this morning. This week, we continue our unity and community theme by exploring how together we can go further. Now, that also happens to be my talk title, Together We Can Go Further. Janice shared that statement of our shared values. We consistently welcome more and more of the divine nature to be realized within us and revealed through our relationships, our decisions, and our contributions to the world. Now, there's a lot to unpack in that statement, so let's just get started here. I want to bring some points to light for you. We welcome more and more of the divine nature to be realized within us. Now, our nature, at its very essence, is spiritual. The very fabric of our being is created from that one infinite intelligence, and just as a drop in the ocean contains the elements of the ocean, so are we containers of the elements of spirit. Last week, we talked about alchemy and how folks throughout the century mixed things together. They tried to take 4 special elements to create a gold elixir that would heal anything and everything. We might consider that we already have the perfect alchemy of our spiritual nature existing in us, through us, and as us. We contain in our spiritual DNA every spiritual quality of that infinite life that flows through us. Now, Judge Thomas Troward, one of my favorites, who had a great influence on Dr. Holmes, our founder of religious science, described 7 spiritual qualities to which we might attain to become the full spiritual beings that we really are. But we have forgotten. And they are life, light, love, peace, power, beauty, and joy. And there's a little prose that goes along with that I'll share with you. I am life, and as life I do flow. I am love, I reap what I sow. I am peace, I know that I know. And I am power, so I can let go. I am beauty, I watch myself grow. I am joy above and below. And I am light, I eternally glow. It's kind of a nice way to remember it. As we become more aware of our true spiritual nature, We have the ability to cultivate and live those qualities and radiate them throughout our lives. Now that just seems simple, doesn't it? Like life, love, peace, power, beauty, and joy. Yet we get bogged down in the ordinary, the mundane, and oftentimes the really depressing of the conditions of the world that we live in that seem to overshadow anything spiritual. However, the real truth of our being is that we are spirit in form. It is our birthright. And as Dr. Holmes wrote, this spirit is happy, whole, free, filled with joy, eternal in its existence, and can provide you with everlasting expansion. All your highest hopes and dreams have come from it. The echo of its being is in your intellect. The voice of its unspoken word is in your mind. The feeling of its light and life is in your heart. And the emotion of its imagination is in your soul. When we take time to connect with that spirit within, we begin to more fully experience every quality that already exists within us. And yeah, it takes practice. You got to practice almost anything to get really good at it, right? To have that recognition. But that's what our daily spiritual practice is about. When we take the time to commune with that presence, whether through meditation or prayer, contemplation, inspirational reading, walking out in nature, there are many, many ways that we connect with that divine essence within us. Any other methods that we use, that we have dedicated to time to really know who we are, remember that we are spiritual beings, is the value that brings those spiritual qualities to life in us. So why is that important? Why is that important anyway? Well, because we are personally responsible for how the world is around us. Now, I'm not referring to world conditions here. I'm talking about the world in which we live in our daily lives, the environment that we choose to exist in, and the way that we express ourselves through our daily thoughts and actions with ourselves, our families, our friends, and others in our community. Our internal state of mind affects everything that we feel and do, and it influences those around us. You know, Dr. Holmes frequently said that we are spiritual broadcasting stations. And so when we exhibit our healing energy, knowing the unified spiritual truth of ourselves and of all, we are doing our part in healing ourselves and others. Now, if you think that isn't true, think about a time when you've been having a great day, and you are in a really good mood, and you are cruising along, and someone walks into the room who is not. And that dark cloud descends, and immediately there's a shift, right? Now you feel that frustration, anger, discontent, sadness, or any other emotion that they're feeling and broadcasting. And that comes through their body language, their facial expressions, and their words and their tone. Their emotions can affect your interactions with them and anyone else in the room. And before you know it, now you may be grumpy, upset, sad, or any range of other emotions that are not peaceful, content, or joyful. I've had that happen. So we need to know that and really truly understand that we have subtle and overt impacts on everything with which we interact. Many times, we're afraid to own our own happiness. We're sure that it's fragile and it won't last, and we don't allow ourselves to dream or think beyond where we are for fear of failure. Paul Coelho wrote in The Alchemist, "There is only one thing that makes a dream impossible to achieve: the fear of failure." And many of us have been taught to avoid our dreams for that very reason. Yet those dreams will persist. And I suggest we might want to consider the words of Henry David Thoreau. He said, I have learned this at least by experiment, that if one advances confidently in the direction of their dreams and endeavors to live the life which is imagined, oh, they will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. They will pass an invisible boundary. New, universal, and more liberal laws will begin to establish themselves around and within them, and they will live lives with the license of a higher order of being. Now imagine that. Imagine that. Living with the license of a higher order of being. That certainly seems to reference that spirit within that Dr. Holmes described, that I mentioned before. You know, John O'Donohue said, of the many callings in the world, the invitation to the adventure of an awakened and full life is the most exhilarating. This is the dream of every heart. It is in our nature to listen to the call of spirit within. As we listen to it as individuals, we are inspired to the next segment of our shared value statement that we read before, where our divine nature is revealed through our relationships. When we begin to look at relationships, one of the most important spiritual principles we have is to see the oneness in everyone. This means not only thinking that we are one, but living as one. And we begin by looking through our spiritual eyes, our spiritual lenses, and seeing and recognizing that same spirit in everyone that exists within us. Oh, isn't that a beautiful thought, to see that same spirit that exists within us in everyone we look at? We take the time to recognize those spiritual qualities of life, light, love, peace, power, beauty, and joy in everyone, and that exists as the truth of everyone's being. As Desmond Tutu said, my humanity is bound up in yours, for we can only be human together. And to that, I would add, we are all spiritual beings, remembering how to be spiritual beings together. To get closer to that, we might consider letting go of our judgments and opinions about what we consider the other, and take a page from Buddha, who said, as rain falls equally on the just and the unjust, do not burden your heart with judgments, but rain your kindness equally on all. Now, if we look at all creation, we see the evidence that the nature of spirit is pure diversity. And every one of us demonstrates that in our individuality. And we are all connected through that inner spirit within us. This is where the last part of the shared value statement comes into play. As we recognize more and more our individual and shared spiritual nature, we come to realize what importance our decisions and our contributions to the world can make. When we acknowledge and recognize the diversity of our own spiritual communities by bringing together elders with youth, people of color with whites, LGBTQIA plus with straight folks, and when we work, and there's other changes, there's other diversity in the world. When we work collectively on projects, we become witnesses to the greater light that shines through. This visceral experience changes us. And a recent sociological study showed that even holding a soccer game with mixed Christian and Muslim teams helped to shift the thinking in small ways. In those small shifts are the openings for new spiritual awakenings and realizations for all humanity to understand that we are all connected and to begin to work together in new ways, building new bridges of understanding and collaborative achievements. You know, we see that happen most when there is a natural disaster or a community tragedy that brings us together, brings an entire area or community or region together for the good of all who need help at that time. How many times have we seen communities come together without regard to age, without regard to ethnicity, without regard to race, without regard to gender, religion, or any other factor during hurricanes, earthquakes, or perhaps even, if you read the news, the fire devastation that has been happening in our own backyard at the KPN fires. In the time of need, folks take in other folks. They prepare and share food. They share water and power and provide shelter for animals. And they work to free and clean up the seabirds when oil spills occur, like the one near Huntington Beach right now. And people do anything else that's required to work together, to come together, to sustain the lives of their entire community. That's the generosity of spirit love in action, my friends. That is the generosity of spirit love that exists in you and me all the time. Doesn't have to be on a grand scale. And I would like to make a point here, and it is that we certainly don't have to wait for a disaster. You know, we don't have to wait to come together to assist, share, and contribute to building better lives with everyone until something dreadful happens. We can start small. As spiritual beings living in community, we can begin to share, dream, and co-create meaningful actions, no matter how large or small they may seem. I do like this quote from Howard Thurman. He wrote, "Our dreams belong to us. They come full-blown out of the world in which we work and hope and carry on. They are not imposters. They are not foreign elements invading our world like some solitary comet from the outer reaches of space. No, our dreams are our spirit, the vital part of us. They become for us the bearers of new possibility, the enlarged horizon, the great hope. Even as they romp among the stars, they come back to their place in our lives, bringing with them the radiance of the far heights, the lofty regions, and giving to all our days the lift and the magic of the stars." You know, we have within us, each one of us, unlimited potential to create and co-create unlimited possibilities, to give all of our days the lift and the magic of the stars. Together we can go further with our dreams. Oh, we can do amazing things individually and collectively. So I invite each of us this week to consider how we live our spiritual qualities. Just choose one. Just choose one to emphasize while you're walking around, living, breathing, and just doing life. Love, light, peace, power, beauty, or joy. And then, after you've chosen that quality, and you're looking through your spiritual eyes, watch for that quality to begin to radiate through you and be reflected in the entire world around you. When we come together, we are taking action within our spiritual community, or we're creating opportunities for our larger community to come together. We are not only creating, but going further together in demonstrating a world that works for all. And so it is. Thank you. So now I'd just like to cap that message with a prayer, as is our custom. And so as we come together in just a moment of love and quiet here in this center, I just invite each of us to bring to the forefront of our consciousness that which we believe that infinite loving presence is. Because we know there is one presence, we know there is one power, and we know that that presence and power exists in and through all creation, in and through each of us. We know that it is everywhere. We know that the power is there for us to use for good. And as we use this power for good, it creates exponentially more good as it goes out from us and as it comes back to us, for we live in a reciprocal universe that gives and takes as we breathe in and we breathe out. So does that love come into our world and we radiate it back out. So I bless each and every being here in this center. I bless each and every person out in cyberspace who's taken the time to join us today. I bless every person who has cried out for prayer, knowing that all prayer is answered. All prayer is answered. And I know that that infinite loving support exists within each and every one of us. I know that it is always readily available, and we have but to turn within to be and remember who we are. And in that remembering, we come together, we go further together, and we do create that world that works for everyone. And so for this, I am so incredibly grateful. I release this word, my word, directly into the law of mind that always says, oh, yes, my beloveds, yes. And I know that it's already done, and we may affirm it together by saying, and so it is. Amen. And so now we have special music. 3, hit it.
You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is found in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things.
Amazing, amazing.
You will do amazing things.
Amazing, amazing.
You will do amazing things. Oh, the places you will go and the people you will know. Don't worry when or where or how. You don't have to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. You will do amazing things.
Amazing, amazing.
You will do amazing things.
Amazing, amazing.
You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath and smile.
Amazing, amazing.
You will do
Amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things.
amazing,
Amazing. amazing. You will do amazing things.
Yep. Magnificent. Thank you so much for that. We have such great music here, I think. So, it's time for our prosperity. And I just want to share with you this thought. It's actually something that's happened that's very important. The Board of Trustees came together on September 17th, and they visioned for a new purpose that would meet the time that we are in today. And it received its final approval at the board meeting this past Sunday. Now, I've been reading the mission statement here so that you would know what we are about and what we're doing with your generosity of gifts of time, talent, and treasure. And I'd like to share this with you now, the purpose statement. Because in every way, all your gifts of love, time, talent, or treasure support this purpose. And the purpose is Center for Spiritual Living, Visalia, is a welcoming community grounded in love, spiritual wisdom, and equity, a beacon of light serving all humanity both near and far. And so that is our new purpose here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Visalia. So as you give your gifts today, I just invite you to take your gift, time, talent, treasure, bring it to your heart. Let's say our prosperity affirmation together. I dedicate my treasure to the healthy and joyful evolution of a world that works for all. Let's say that again. Go ahead. You can keep doing it. I dedicate my treasure to the healthy and joyful evolution of a world that works for all. So I'd just like to take a moment to bless these gifts of love, because I know from the pure love of Spirit these gifts have been given through the generosity of the open hearts, both here and wherever you may be donating at this time. And so it is with great, great gratitude that I bless these gifts. I know they do good work here in this community, in our center, and out beyond into the world. And knowing that this is so, I am incredibly grateful, and I just say, and so it is. Alrighty, so now, for those of you who are used to this, and those of you who are not, we usually form a circle, and we're going to sing peace song. And as is our custom, whatever you are most comfortable with in the circle, if you want to stand apart, if you want to hold hands, it's really up to every individual here to participate. And the words for the peace song will be up on the TV screens for those of you here, and you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see it out in the. You'll be able to see it out in cyberspace because it'll be on the screen there. Wow, whose hand will I hold when you're gone? It begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family all are we. Now we walk with each other. together in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me, and this is the moment now. With every breath I take, this is my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Now there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. To our benediction, this is something we do every week just to get us on the right track before we exit the building. Are you ready? So if you feel like it, you can repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Now, life is in my mind. And life is in my body. And it's in the body of my affairs, yes, every one of them. I think it. I feel it. And I love it. Oh, just the way that it is. And just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you.